All right. So Aiden Hutchinson over under 1.5. Speaking of the Lions.
Oh, God, this I would stay away from it, quite honestly, because I like the under, but again, common sense should tell you that the Jaguars are better off taking an offensive tackle there.
So I'm taking the over here if I'm betting anything.
Yeah,
I actually like the over.
Well, who's going first?
Trayvon Walker.
All right.
So if you sort of follow, if you know how to read the tea leaves, like I'm in this draft chat with a bunch of dudes, and I said on like Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening at some point Sunday, I was like, look, I think there's a very good chance that when Peter King's column comes out for Monday morning, the FMIA Football Morning in America, whatever it is, that there's a big chunk of it dedicated to either Peter King saying he's hearing this or, people in the league, being anonymously quoted about the Jaguars and Trayvon Walker. And sure enough, there's a big chunk of it. And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, but like, I think, and I'm not saying like it was coming from other executives too. It was like, everybody believes that Trent Baalke wants the high upside, hyper athletic guy. Now, if Doug Peterson has the control of the draft, that could all change. Or if Shad Khan steps in and says, I don't know, I think we need to go the safe route, because we haven't done anything right really for the last 15 or 20 years, then it's possible that it's Aiden Hutchinson or a lineman. But that Aiden Hutchinson over at 1.5 at plus 130, you have outs with Icky, with Evan Neal, and with Trayvon Walker, who I think will end up being the number 1 overall pick.
Okay. I think Lance Zierlein has talked about this as well. He's hearing the same thing from so many people that he thinks it might be smoke screens. And the thing that he's heard, and
I heard that. That's so great. It's like, okay, this is concrete information that I'm hearing that's like verifiable. And it's like, wait, now I've heard it so many times that I'm worried that it's like a double reverse smoke screen.
Exactly. And the caveat or the sort of qualifier was that Aldon Smith is the comp that Trent Baalke fell in love with in San Francisco. He drafted him in the first round, and he had like double-digit sacks his first year as a part-time player.
You took him over Cam Jordan and J.J. Watt.
But it wasn't first overall, and that's –
Yep.
I'm not buying the Trayvon Walker thing. Maybe it happens. I'm not buying it. I think it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson, like 70%, and then the other 28% is offensive lineman. The other 2% I'll give to Trayvon Walker.
Wow. You are out on Trayvon Walker first overall.
It just doesn't – as first overall, like – I get the traits conversation, but the production wasn't there consistently. I think he's going to be a great player. Like if you told me he went 12, I absolutely go crazy. Because I think after 10, even 9, I don't care. If the Falcons took him at 8 or the Seahawks took him at 9, absolutely. But first overall on an organization that's had the first overall pick the last 2 years, I don't know. I feel like you want a slam dunk. Aiden Hutchinson a slam dunk, or you want to fix.
I mean, Aiden Hutchinson does have like 1 year of great production. You could say 2 years of good production.
Okay, now do Trayvon Walker.
I mean, yeah, Trayvon Walker has like 9 career sacks or something like that.
And I get it. He was played out of position. I get all that stuff. But you're talking about first overall.
9.5 career sacks in 3 years at Georgia.
Yeah.
And I think I saw a stat from PFF too, where it was like 46% of Trayvon Walker's pressures or sack or just pressures, I think it was, were like cleanup pressures or like freebies. He didn't. You're playing on Georgia defense, right? Like Jordan Davis is soaking up 6 blockers, and you're just coming in free.
Yeah, I like Trayvon Walker. The first overall is mighty rich. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, I just think that's, and I do agree. Like I know it sounds stupid. I don't know. Have you heard about do you know about the Uno reverse meme or whatever? You know about the Uno reverse card, right?
Of course, I know old school Uno, and I know new Uno.
Well, it's apparently cool now because my son is always saying you like. He's like, I Uno reversed you. It's basically just
in real life.
Yes.
Turn the tables on you.
Exactly. And so it's like there's a little bit of that Uno reverse factor to that, to the steam. Like, everybody is now repeating the Aldon Smith, Trent Baalke thing as it relates to Trayvon Walker. So maybe.
And by the way, even back in 2006, when your guy from NC State went first overall, what was his name again?
Mario Williams.
Yeah, Mario Williams, whatever, Reggie Bush. Did that work out?
Yeah, I think so.
As first overall pick?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he wasn't a bust.
It wasn't a bust, but my point is, if he went 10th, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. First overall over Reggie Bush, like, oh, okay.
I mean, was Reggie Bush that great?
No, but the coming out of college, he was lights out, and he certainly should have been a lot better. My point is that I don't know. I'm just trying to think of comps in terms of Trayvon Walker coming out of nowhere to be the first overall pick, and then you're like, wait a second.
I don't know. I think it was. I mean, Mario finished with how many career sacks do you have with the Texans? 53 sacks in 6 years. He had 43 sacks in 4 years with Buffalo.
Yeah. So I mean, he's 10 sack a year guy. That's good, but
I mean, the top 10 were Mario, Reggie Bush, Vince Young, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, AJ Hawk, Vernon Davis. Somehow Vernon Davis is still active. Michael Huff, Dante Whitner, Ernie Sims, Matt Leinart. I don't know. I mean, I think you could argue that he had the most
fine career. He wasn't have a first overall pick career.
Yeah, but no one in that draft did. Like, if you're redrafting, you're taking Mario's career over Reggie Bush's career.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just looking at the.
Didn't need that, Debo.
Sorry, you know I'm Team Wilson. I'm never Team Brinson.
Yeah, it's not like it's not act like he's like looking for a reason to get after you.
Well, Debo is not happy about the chicken parm.
I think the #1 pick in that draft is a Penn State or Tamba Ali.
Oh,
or Haloti Ngata.
Yeah,
first overall for a defensive tackle. I mean, I guess that's where that draft class was.
I mean, I don't know why the damn page isn't loading. My internet's not going down.
Didn't pay your internet bill.
No, there's you don't want to get into it. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
The Trayvon Walker prop that we got up on the screen, over 3.5 is plus 190, under 3.5 is minus 240. I just don't think you can do anything with that. If they move the number, to 2.5,
that's a tough one. I don't know. Like, I have no sense.
You're just not laying minus 240 for a guy who's almost certainly going in the top 2 picks.
I don't know if he is. Where'd he go in the Prisco Traps Wilson draft? Let's see. So the over-under is 3.5. Where are you taking over-under on the Wilson Traps?
I would guess over for you guys, but
over. He went 10th.
Wow. When was this?
This is tomorrow. On Tuesday, you'll get to see it live. I'm giving you a sneak peek.
All right. Well, I'll make sure. What time does that air on CBS Sports HQ?
4 p.m. HQ Eastern time.
Well, go check that out. 4 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports HQ. Free to watch, of course. I will feature Ryan Wilson, Pete Prisco, and Chris Trapasso, all friends of the program, making draft picks. I actually think you could make the case that the #1 overall pick would, if you redid the 2006 draft, would be Jay Cutler.
Yeah, maybe he went 10th, I think.
11th.
11th, right after.
Just because, he looked like he was going to be a great quarterback, and then Mike Shanahan got fired. Josh McDaniels came in. They traded him to Chicago. Chicago's never had any offense whatsoever. Yada yada yada. I would probably take Cutler first.
All right,
he made a Pro Bowl too, by the way.
Yeah, Vince Young didn't translate. He was on Debo's dream team though. He was part of that group.
Oh God, remember the dream team? Nnamdi Asomugha, Debo.
Yes, I vividly remember.
God, that was a great time to be alive.
The wrong Steve Smith, Ronnie Brown.
The wrong Steve Smith.
Ronnie Brown guy. Vince Young, like backup quarterbacks. I mean, we are the dream team up in here. It's like
DRC.
Yeah, that's right.
Dominic Rogers Cromartie, nice.
Was Roger? No, Antonio Cromartie was the 2006 draft too.
Yeah, he was good.
Oh my God! Do you know who would be one of the top picks in the 2006 draft? Actually, Andrew Whitworth. Oh
gosh, just retired.
Yeah. I mean, you
could argue he should have been the first overall
with the
pick.
Super Bowl ring.
I might take him over Jay Cutler, first overall.
Yeah, Elvis Dumerville.
Nick Mangold, really good lineman.
Nick Mangold. That was the year that the Jets double up. DeBrickashaw and Nick Mangold.
Sam Koch was in that draft.
The best chance at the Hall of Fame might be Devin Hester, though.
That's
from that draft.
I mean, I know you guys think I want to put everybody in, but I think Whitworth's got a good chance of getting in.
I don't think anyone pushes back on that.
Oh, Whitworth?
Did I push back on that? I don't.
Probably,
but I don't know if I'll reconsider.
By the way, Dominic wants to know, does Pete get a booster seat when he's on HQ? Yes, he does.
And on airplanes, buses, cars.
I don't need a booster seat. Kayvon Thibodeau, the Oregon pass rusher who's had his name slandered throughout the draft process.
This is another good number.
it's like character concerns, but it's basically like it's not really character concerns.
Right. It's not even character concerns.
It's does he love football or is he all about his brand? And quite frankly, I don't really know that much about his brand, so I sort of wonder if, if he's that into his brand, are we concerned that he's not very good at his brand?
He's not doing it the right way,
right? His over under 5.5 under meaning he's picked in the first 5 picks is -140. Over is +110. So I think we can rule out the Jaguars for Thibodeau, right? First overall.
Yeah, he's not going there. Zerline doesn't think he's going 3, so that leaves Detroit and the Jets. I don't know if he's a Dan Campbell.
And the Giants.
Oh, 5.5, yep. And the Giants. I don't know if he's a Dan Campbell guy or not. I have no idea. I'm at the point now where I just am concerned about Thibodeau's on-field production, and he's really good. I had him going 4th in the 7-round mock draft to the Jets. I feel like Robert Saleh would love to have someone like Kayvon Thibodeau, just based on optics. By that I mean, I don't know Robert Saleh, but he seems like he gets the most out of guys, and he likes guys like Kayvon Thibodeau in terms of their motor and get after it and all that other stuff we talk about.
So I think the question with I think you can. So I don't think he goes to the Lions because I think the Lions will take Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker before they take Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, I think so.
And we could be wrong about that, but just for the purposes of sort of breaking this down, let's assume that. So then he's not going to Houston. You have 4 and 5 where he could land. The question becomes for the Jets and the Giants in those spots are if the Jets are going to have the option of more than likely one of the offensive linemen, right? We think they'll have either Icky or Evan Neal will be there.
Yeah, good Lord. Well, yeah.
So, but my question is, if you're the Jets, do you take Thibodeau at 4, or do you take one of the linemen at 4 and hope that like a Jermaine Johnson or another pass rusher is there at 10? Because there's not likely going to be an offensive lineman at 10 with the Panthers, the Seahawks, the Falcons could take one. Obviously, the Giants have 2 picks and are likely to take an offensive lineman if one of the good ones are there.
Yeah, you'd be reaching for an offensive lineman at 10 because those 3 guys should be gone. That's right.
Now, and you could end up, you could take Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley at 10 too. So
I don't know if Sauce will be there.
Right, exactly. I think there's a good chance that he goes as well. But I mean, the question is, do the Jets or Giants like Thibodeau enough to pass on an offensive lineman at 4 and 5 respectively? I think that's why it's tough. I would lean towards the under here, even at -140. I think though.
Yeah, it is tough. So I had the Jets taking Thibodeau and passing on Evan Neal, but then you're assuming that maybe Mekhi Becton is going to be in the long-term plans. We don't know the answer to that. We saw the beating Zach Wilson took last year. So again, just like the Trevor Lawrence conversation, I would take an offensive lineman. I think about it. I don't like this. I don't like a lot of these numbers. They're pretty good numbers in terms of Vegas's perspective. I don't know what to make of them.
It's tough, man. Like this is much harder to project where guys are going than last year.
And I think it's because you don't have quarterbacks. So far, I love Charles Cross under. I like Evan Neal under. And that's it. Like the other ones, I'm staying away from.